So what's the next one?
Terry, the next one is fidelity fences.
Ooh, that's a biggie.
They are all big, Terry.
Okay.
So fidelity fences are those boundaries that couples put in their marriage relationship that create a margin between temptation and falling into temptation. And so regardless of whether or not you're married, it's important to have fidelity fences.
Absolutely. And you know what? Sometimes when we teach on this, you can just kind of see on their faces, they're like, oh, wow, really? But the way that we describe it is if you were going to fall into temptation, the closer to it you get, the greater the chances are that you could fall. One little bump could drop you over the cliff, as opposed to being as far from it as possible. So for us personally, I mean, we've been in full-time ministry our whole marriage. And so we wanted to be like bulletproof on this one. So I would never go to lunch with a male without Ty. He would never take a woman to lunch, even if it's business or it's ministry or we just need to talk about something. We just wouldn't do it. Developing a relationship with someone of the opposite sex
is a fidelity fence.
Yeah, that's another fidelity fence.
Wisdom on social media. As a matter of fact, Terry.
Yes.
Someone should be, I just happen to have my smartphone here.
Oh, good.
Everyone, like Terry should be able to take my smartphone and have full access to every email, every text, every Twitter, every tweet, and me not having any nervousness about what she's going to see or find out.
And then did you mention Facebook already?
Well, social media, which would include Facebook.
I listened to a teaching recently, and the gentleman doing the teaching said that he has a friend that was a counselor. They were out to lunch, and he said, he's a marriage counselor. He said about 30% of couples that are coming to him with major struggles in their marriage, things started on Facebook with someone from their past. It's really dangerous. And it's not, I mean, initially it's innocent. It's not like, oh gosh, you're going on there to try to,
right.
But when you begin to cultivate I would just never cultivate a relationship with someone of the opposite sex outside of that relationship being for both of us.
So what we do in our workshops is we share, and don't judge us, we share our 15 fidelity fences that we've established that really have protected our marriage relationship. And it was interesting that I did a men's retreat recently, and I had on the PowerPoint slide about 3 or 4 slides of our 15 fidelity fences, and the guys in the audience had their smartphones up, and they were taking pictures of the slides. And so our fidelity fences work for us. In our workshops, we'll help you identify the fidelity fences that work for you guys. And what it does is it creates security and stability in the marriage relationship.
And you know what I say to women all the time, and I say this with humility, but it's like I haven't spent 1 minute of one day in 27 years of worrying about my husband's fidelity to me. It creates such security, and it strengthens our bond. So it's a big one. And people, you can see on their faces, it's like, whoa, I've never thought of this before. And for us, it's like, how can you not think of it? So it's an important teaching.
And just real quick, share that one story about that workshop we did for the couples where the Saturday morning session, there was that aha moment, and you could feel in the room the intensity of the revelation. Yeah,
we gave couples some time to work on this together. And what happened was, in the time that this couple were working together, he did like camping outdoor adventure trips with young people. And he had a female counterpart that they would take young men and young women on these trips. And in this workshop, she said to her husband, I've never been really comfortable with you going on these trips with this other woman. And he had no clue. Mm-hmm. And when we asked at the end of the workshop, does anybody want to share anything they learned? And he was so sweet. He held up his hand and he shared that with the whole group what they realized. And he said, I might need to not do that job anymore. And I was so impressed.
He took it so
seriously. Yeah, it was really, instead of being defensive and like, what are you talking about? He was like, you know what, even if nothing was on his radar screen, he was like, if that's how you feel, then that's all I need to hear. And we were so excited for that couple.
So there you go, fidelity fences, more to come.
It's a big one.
They're all big, Terry.
Oh yeah, you said that already.